Hey everybody, in this quick stencil tutorial I'm going to show you how to take your game from in our classroom home so that you can work on it on a Mac or Windows. So I am on a school Mac, but the steps are pretty much the exact same for Windows. So here's my game in Stencyl, and it's a simple little platformer here. So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to go up to the File menu and I want to choose Export Game. It's then going to ask you what do you want to call it and where do you want to put it. So I'm going to put it on my desktop so I can find it right away. And I'm going to leave it as this name right here, Crash Course Period 1.stencil, and hit save. Give it a few seconds and then it says success, and there it is, and you click on OK and it opens up a folder. It says, look, I want to show you what I did. Okay, so that's all great and everything. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it home. So I'm going to go to Google Drive. I'm in my video game production folder and I'm going to say new, and I'm going to say file upload. I'm going to then navigate to my desktop, find my game. This is the Stencyl, and I'm just going to say open. And that's going to now, as you can see here in the bottom right hand corner, it's going to upload it to my Google Drive folder. You can also just drag and drop it right from your desktop into the correct folder. Okay, and so here you can see it's right here. Now you're not going to actually be able to play it on Google Drive or anything. You're just using Drive to get it from school to home. Okay, so we're back, and so now imagine I'm sitting at home. I open up Google Drive and here's my game. I'm going to go ahead and simply download it. So I'll just right mouse click, I'll choose download, and on a Mac that goes to my downloads folder. Windows, it also goes to a downloads folder, just in a different location. Alright, so now I'm going to go open up Stencyl. So I just opened up Stencyl and here are all of my games. So I need to go to the File menu and I need to choose Import Game. And I'm going to go to my Downloads folder and I'm going to find the game that I downloaded from Google Drive, hit open, and now the game comes in. I can now open it up. There's my scene, and I can go ahead and do whatever I want. I'll go ahead and do a couple little changes here, and there we go. Let's say that's what I want. Okay, now you need to reverse the process to, of course, bring it back to the lab, to the classroom. So again, you need to save. You then need to do File, Export Game again. Now this can be somewhat confusing. Do you give it a different name or do you keep it the same name? Well, the only warning I can give you is that if you give it the same name, you're going to have multiple copies of the same game. And so you're going to have to make sure that you're choosing the right one. If I start to have Crash Course Period 1 and then I do another one, let me show it to you. If I do this, it's going to say, do you want it already exists? Do you want to replace it? I generally would say yes, replace. Okay, so then it says it did it, okay, and here it is here, okay? If you don't see that warning that says, do you want to replace this, then what you would see, let me zoom in, is it'll say the name of your game, and then it'll say a number 1 in parentheses or a number 2 in parentheses, and that means you have multiple copies. Just be very careful about that and make sure that you're grabbing the latest, greatest version. Okay, now you're still at home, and what you're going to do, of course, is you're going to go back to Google Drive and you're going to need to upload the latest version. Again, you now have an older version here, so you might want to remove that version. Okay, now go back to New, File Upload, go back to where you saved your game. So this is it, this is my latest version, and you're basically just reversing the process. You're now uploading it to Google Drive, and then when you come back into school, you need to download the game, and then you need to do File Import and import it back into Stencyl. So I don't recommend doing this every single class because you'll be going back and forth and you might forget to, you might get the wrong version somewhere because you're trying to do too many things, and it's like dropping a ball. So be careful of that. But maybe on the last day of the week, Thursday or Friday, so that way you can work on it over the weekend or a vacation or something like that if you want to. Okay, I hope this helps you out and how to bring your Stencyl game home.